All right, so for day 2 of the Physical and Chemical Changes lab, you're going to be doing part C, which is Chemical and Physical Changes, and then part D, which is the extra questions, okay? For part C1, where you're dissolving NaHCO3, that is baking soda, okay, sodium bicarbonate, and you're going to dissolve a small amount, 2 or 3 milliliters of water. Remember that a milliliter is about 22 drops, and you're going to describe your observation. Now, during chemical changes, okay, there are a few things that you will observe. The unexpected color change is one of them. You're going to want to write these down. You may also observe the formation of a gas. You may describe that as bubbles formed. Chemists like to use the term effervescence. Sometimes they'll say gas evolves. We love to make things more complicated, okay? You may also form something called an insoluble product or an insoluble solid, which is known as a precipitate. So I'm just going to write that a precipitate forms, which is also known as an insoluble product or an insoluble solid. Sometimes they just call it precipitate. Okay. Those are the main forms of evidence that a chemical change occurs. Sometimes the sample gets cold, so it would feel cold to the touch. Sometimes it gets hot, so it's going to feel hotter. Sometimes it will emit light, but emitting light is a much less common occurrence, and we don't really have that happen in my class. But these are types of observations that you're looking for during chemical changes, okay? Because physical changes are more like changes of state. That makes any sense. Like it's just going to dissolve in water, okay? Or it's going to change from a solid to a liquid to a gas, for instance. Okay, so then as you move on to part C2, you're going to be testing silver nitrate with a salt solution, silver nitrate with a sugar solution, tap water, and deionized water. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making solutions of salt and sugar, and I explain exactly how to do that in the procedure section, so make sure you read it very carefully. You may want to get a highlighter and highlight the important parts. You're going to be taking a glass stir rod and you stick it into a test tube and you mix things up to dissolve them. Be really careful with silver nitrate because it stains your hands. They'll turn it like a grayish black. It'll eventually come off and wear off, but just be careful. And then you're going to be recording your observations and the type of change that you think happened. Like, was it a chemical change or was there really no change? Okay. Part C3, you're going to be heating a piece of copper wire. So when you have a piece of copper wire, you want to kind of like take a piece of sandpaper and like rub the end of the wire with the sandpaper, okay, to make sure you have like this fresh copper revealed. And then you're going to take some tongs and you're going to hold the very tip of it into a flame, and you're going to observe the appearance. You don't have to hold it there for very long. The color will probably change right away. Now, a couple things that I need you to understand about physical and chemical changes that a lot of people don't understand is that physical changes are reversible. So you're going to want to write that down. Okay? Chemical changes are not. So I want you to think about this when you're recording your observations, okay? Because when it comes to the type of change, like it being physical or chemical, you want to think about that. All right? Okay, now for C4, when you're heating and cooling iodine, you're not going to actually do this. There's going to be a video link on Canvas for you to click on to watch the heating and cooling of iodine. Okay, so you're going to record your observations. You're going to indicate the type of change that it is. I'll give you a hint. It's reversible. And then you're going to comment on it. Every year people forget to do this. They forget to comment on it right here. Okay, so please do that. And then what I want you to do is answer these questions down here, and then you're going to proceed from there. So this is a really great lab. Usually girls love it every year, so just be careful, and